Welcome to another edition of Tom's Real Food Podcast. Welcome back. I'm Tom Garvey, the Keto Cook. Well, today on Tom's Real Food Podcast, we're going to continue this about how can we stop it, or why are we having a addiction to sugar throughout the country? Well, it was pretty funny. A couple of weeks ago, I do these podcasts like a week and a half ahead. So some of the things I talk about happened just before I did the podcast. I'm always watching YouTube to see new or different people out there who are doing carnivore, keto. Everybody seems to switch. For a while everybody was the keto craze. Everybody was doing keto, and then they were going on to different, carnivore was the thing to do it. You know what I mean? And a lot of the big enablers, okay. When I say big, well, like over 100,000, 50,000, or over 100,000 subscribers, they all keep moving to keep their algorithm up and keep their subscribers on the rise and everything else like that. But I seen a couple of them. One guy's picture, he had a little sad face, like he was getting ready to cry, or I can't do it anymore. Just to me, one person on their channel or on that video accuse him of clickbait. Now, what clickbait is saying something on your channel or on your thumbnail, okay, to draw people in to see what it is, and turns out to where it's nothing. You know what I mean? It's just to get you there, get a click, whatever. So that's why it's hence the name clickbait. So there was 3 or 4 of them that were on this almost on the same realm. In other words, like they were talking back and forth about, hey, how can we get more people to join us or whatever. And so anyway, the long story short was, one guy's, I'm going to quit. I can't do it no more. And I went back to my old ways of eating. Let's face it, people. Okay. If you're doing a carnivore diet, there's not much to add. Okay. Meat, how you cook it, different ways of cooking it. So maybe what do you get? 4 or 5 different videos out of that. And then from there, what I buy in a day, what I eat in a day. And then it just keeps going on and on and on and on. Same thing with keto. When I first started doing this keto lifestyle, and I started doing YouTube, it was like, can you top this type of thing? Okay, and I never felt for that. I did a little bit of it. What I buy, my food haul. Okay, we buy this, we buy that, and then you can see the people to where they're going, to where their addiction to sugar or to a high carb diet starts dragging them down back into that area of, well, I bought this because it is zero net carbs. Okay, zero net carbs to me means nothing. Means that there's carbs in it. All right, so you're subtracting fiber from the total amount of carbs because it has a lot of fiber in it. Well, that sometimes does not work for everybody. That's just telling you that it's zero net because one's going to cancel out the other. Well, it doesn't work that way. Some people, fiber does not work for them whatsoever. Do we need fiber? I don't think so. I mean, you could survive without any fiber. Our body does not produce fiber. But getting back into these different enablers, okay? Well, they got into like an exchange over a couple days or maybe a week or whatever, on about their failures. But it's one guy who has a couple 100,000 subscribers come up out of nowhere. I don't know. He says he's like 600 days doing carnivore and he's doing great. And why are these people talking about failure? I can't understand. If you do carnivore diet or lifestyle the right way, you will not fail. Okay. Bullshit. Okay. I'm going to call it right out. Bullshit. And then he viciously went after, I love the guy, but went after the guy that he was talking about, and sort of mentioned another guy. All right. So now I know these people. I went on their channel. I always go on, and if I say something, nice going, or I'm glad to see you doing well and stuff like that, just to let them know that I'm there. They don't know I exist. Okay. I only have, a couple thousand subscribers, which I'm thankful for, but I'm not going to sell you a bunch of bullshit. Okay. Just to get clicks and stuff like that. That's what this channel is not about. All right. I'm trying to give you different ways of cooking foods clean without any carbs, any sugars to kill the addiction. Okay. Kill the craving. But these guys that they were going back and forth on their carnivore channels got into it a little bit about the failure and said, well, you know what? People do fail. This is not easy. Okay, they're comparing it to alcoholism. They're comparing it to a drug addiction about this food and sugar addiction. Well, you know what? The addiction for sugar and high carbs, I think, is worse than a drug addiction and also alcohol. All right, because what happens when with drugs, you get the munchies, and what do? You go fast food. You go eat some more. So not only are you addicted to certain drugs, but then if you're eating junk food, you're making things even worse. Same thing with alcoholism. Okay, you go out and night a party, and what do you wind up doing? You wind up in a diner eating a bunch of garbage. Okay, now I'm sure people are going to get mad at me for saying that well, alcohol is worse than no, it's not. Okay, even in alcohol, there's sugar in alcohol. In certain drugs, there's sugar the way it's made. There's some kind of sugar additive into it. So my point is, we got to kill the cravings. We got to kill the sugar addiction, and it's got to start from the top. Now, this week or next week, they're going to start these hearings about this one about RFK who's going in, looking to get appointed to the FDA. Okay, or HHS. Do I like the guy? I don't know that much about him. I know who he is, this and that. His past, I know he railed against vaccines and stuff like that. That's not my issue with him. My issue is, and I think we need a change. There again, I don't get political here. Uh, we are heading down a road. We've been heading down a road, okay, since I was a kid, about how much sugar is added. There's 74 different names for sugar that I know of. Somebody had told me there's close to 120 different names that they put on these labels that they can get away with food. Okay, so if you see something that's healthy, 100% healthy, keto friendly, like I say, run the other way, because you know what? It's all bullshit. Uh, and that's where I'm at with this right now. Now these other guys, these enablers, and this one guy, like I said, has quite a few subscribers. He follows a doctor. Okay, he's almost sounds like a mini me type of thing, um, quoting him, and the proper human diet and all this stuff like that, which is fine. Okay, I mean, I'm glad to see it. But they don't know nothing about us, okay? The people that they're talking to. Matter of fact, if you go on watch a couple of their lives that they do, the only questions they really answer is the ones who are paying them, okay? You can become a member of my group right here, and if you have a question, I posted 5 or 6 questions on one of their podcasts, or one of their lives, I guess, and they got people in front of me and people after me, but you could see the ones who paid. That's the ones they answer. So is that fair? Well, that's their channel. You can always click off it the whole bit, but I don't think they're doing the service that they should be doing for everybody. Okay, people have a lot of great questions, but they're not getting answered. So that what happens is they throw the towel in. All right, or they listen to somebody else talking about well, you drink this shake, okay? It'll fill you up, and guess what? You don't have to eat that day. What is that shake doing to you? Just like this Ozempic stuff, okay? I'm telling you, I'm mark my words. Later on down the road, you're going to hear something that this stuff is not what it's supposed to be. Okay, it slows down your processing. It actually puts a halt on processing foods that you have just eaten or throughout the day. Now, like I had said, I have done this, not Ozempic, something like it. All right, and it messed with me so bad that I called the doctor. I said, I don't know if I should go to the hospital or what with this. I mean, it just wouldn't process for a week, 1 week. So yeah, it was full of crap. Yeah, it was full of crap, if you want to say that. But trying to make a joke of it, but in the same token, a lot of these enablers, a lot of these people that are on YouTube that are talking this, all they're looking for is the click, looking for the view. All right. And what this one guy, he got so excited the way he was talking about railing against these other people. And somebody had said, well, we can't afford it. we can't afford to do carnivore because it's so expensive. Well, he said, well, like this doctor said, you can eat hot dogs or bologna. No, you can't. No, you cannot. Stop and think about it a minute, okay? If in order to get a regular hot dog, read the label in the back and then translate what's in it, okay? All the stabilizers, okay? There is sugar in it, all right? There is, I mean, there's derivatives from sugar that make it shelf stable. In other words, it can last a little bit longer in the meat case than anything else. Bologna, the same thing. There are additives into the bologna, the same couple dyes that are put in there. This stuff is not good for you. Rather than buying one piece of meat, okay, piece of chuck or something like that. So, uh, yeah, I mean, I'll get feedback, and I hope I do because you know what? They don't even know I exist, or if they do, they don't pay attention to it. I questioned quite a few of them. Right now, I'm drinking a little fennel tea. Hmm. I'm going to do a series on different teas that I've been starting to drink, all natural stuff. I'm not becoming Yule Gibbons or anything like that, but I'm just saying a lot of this stuff makes sense, and we're going to get into that a little one down the road here. But getting back to the meats and stuff, I actually have to struggle to go find different cuts of meat at a great price, okay? Because um, last week's video, I cut up a chuck roll, okay, a whole clog, cut it up into different cuts, different ways of using it, and that's why I have to do it in order to stay. Now, I do carnivore once in a while. All right, if I feel myself, my sugars and everything starting to move around a little bit more, I'll go back, just eat meat. Okay, pork. I'll do pork. That's the other thing you don't hear about. Anybody eating pork or I don't eat that. Just you got to eat grass-fed beef. And this and that. No, we can't afford grass-fed beef. I'm sorry, but we just can't. Uh, Eating hot dog. Well, get a better quality hot dog. For 7 hot dogs, okay, it's $14 for a boar's head. All right, with all natural casings. I mean, it's got all the stuff, but it still has additives and stuff in it. So $14 for that's $2 a hot dog. All right, that's insane. If you have a family, I mean, you're going to be talking. You know, how many hot dogs can you feed your family? So yeah, they're totally off base with that kind of chat right there. So we are definitely um, addicted addicted to the sugar. Now, like I said before, with this new um, FDA, it has to change. Something has definitely got to change because right now we are just too much sugar. I mean, way too much sugar in our life to be fooling around with. It's in everything. It's in everything that we encounter. Um, Either it's used breaks down into a shelf stable commodity to help prolong something, okay, or use a different name, okay, like that. What was it called? That element, okay, maltodextrin was in there, and it's a form of sugar that known to hurt people. So we got to be really careful. So what I suggest is start eating a little bit cleaner, and what I mean by um, cleaner food is I turn around and I all natural stuff. So what I'll do is I'll take portobello mushroom. I'll take the stem off it, and then what I'll do is I will let's turn around the other way here. Let me make that bigger. There we go. I'll take the portobello mushroom here, take the stem out, clean the fins off. All right, and then I will add some spinach. Now, some fresh mozzarella cheese or block cheese, sliced very thin. Also, I have some ham here that I can put on it. Now, right here's 15 slices of pepperoni. Okay, so 15 slices of pepperoni equal 2 carbohydrates. All right, got an onion, also a sliced tomato, and then Parmesan cheese. I'll put this all together, put that into the oven, and guess what? I got the craving for pizza. There it is with portobello mushroom. Now, if you don't like mushroom, you could put all these components into a bowl, okay, and either put it in a microwave or put it in the oven and bake it, cook it that way, and have a pizza bowl. Very simple stuff to do. Um, right now you can get two lobster tails for like $15. Okay, $7 a piece. Crab legs, you don't need a lot. Mussels are dirt cheap. Clams, shrimp. I eat a lot of shrimp, and I tell you what, it's good for you. It's a good form of protein, but there again, people turn around and they they turn around and say, "Hey, well, we've got to be careful with mercury and stuff." What are you talking about? You know what I mean? I mean, not that mercury is good for you, but you got to prove to me that shrimp and all that stuff like that is loaded with mercury, because there again, the FDA would have a lot to say with it. So um, I'm trying to work out to where we have a little bit better food. Let me load this down here. I'm trying to talk and do something at the same time here. So the whole premise right here is keto clean eating. What is this? No more additives, no more hidden carbs. Okay, and just about everything we eat has carbohydrates in it. Okay, a little bit of carbs. So I wouldn't worry too much about, like I said, 20 carbs or less. Now, I use olive oil, avocado oil, and in the Popeye there happens to be red wine vinegar. I use a lot of that, or apple cider vinegar. Now, the other smaller bottle that is olive oil with hot pepper in it. Now, this stuff is pretty potent, makes it pretty hot, but there are different ways you can do things. Harder cheeses, that pecorino right there is actually pecorino has a odd uh, medium chain triglyceride in it. Okay, which is helps with type 2 diabetes. Also helps with high insulin. So, man, here's my go-to right here: pork rinds. Okay, there you could take pork rinds, actually shave some of that cheese on it, put it in a microwave, and you got yourself a little cheesy delight right there. But I use pork rinds also for breadcrumbs. I take them and I'll run them through the blender, crush them up, and I'll saute. You can make fish with them, shrimp, even some pork, chicken, whatever, with the pork rinds. So keto clean eating is not hard to do. Go to my channel, check it out. Here's one thing that I will testify to. Uh, High carb diet will actually cause knee and joint pain. Believe me, I'm living proof. Okay. When I was playing in music at night out here in Vegas, we get done, we would go eat. And I'm just like trying to be like the rest of the guys and you know, have my French fries and bread and keto friendly drinks and stuff like that. I suffered. I really did. So it does work. If you start eating much cleaner, you will get through all this extra pain and stuff like that. Now, affordability, you got to shop around. That's why I do strict keto, clean keto. Where there again, if it says keto friendly, like these drinks right here say, I run the other way, because you know what? It's all garbage. All right, it's a moneymaker. I don't know how else plainer to put it. Um, that you can make a ton of money from these products. All right, and they don't give a damn whether your arthritis kicks up, or if you get a rash from a high sugar diet, or high carb. We are food, sugary food addicted. It's a shame, and I think we need to get it straightened out. Somebody's got to step in and stop this nonsense, because that's exactly what it is. It is all nonsense. So, without windbagging too much more, uh, so these guys on the carnivore channel, they sort of went after one another, and I love this guy, but shouldn't have called me out like that. And then they got into it about the hot dogs and stuff. Come on, people, it's not that hard to do. It really isn't. Watch the enablers that you run into. As far as the one guy actually called the other guy, and I don't want to get into this he said she said bull crap, but I thought it was kind of funny that what, a lot of people, 60, 70,000 people are watching this and listening to this stuff and saying, listen to these fools. They're both fools for talking the way they're talking. So there again, eat clean. Not that hard to do. Uh, like I always say, pick up a fresh broccoli and look for the ingredients. There's none. Pick out a steak, chicken, pork, seafood. Okay, no ingredients. Prepackaged stuff is the other problem. Uh, Not only fast food. Now, we always talk about fast food and stuff like that, but prepackaged stuff, it's not good. Even salads, okay? They are sprayed with something on there to give them a little bit more shelf life. Now, you know yourself, if you take a lettuce and cut it up, okay, and leave it in a refrigerator for a day or two, it starts turning, all right? So this stuff they sell in a bag, okay, it's just not, it's not there. So use your head a little bit as far as, well, I can't do this. I tried real hard. Everybody trips and falls. Get back up again. Start again. Start the next day. Guys talk on his channel makes me laugh. You can't quit. Failure is not an option. Well, yes, it is. Okay, people trip and fall every day. Accidents do happen. There's nobody. If that was the case, okay, if that was the case, everybody would have a six pack, fit as a fiddle. Okay, and yeah, because you know what? Well, failure is not an option. No, not the same. People trip. It's an addiction that people are fighting real hard, and it's overlooked. Excuse me, but it's overlooked because of what entails. Okay, if everybody stopped doing sugar, these big pharma, big food would start collapsing. Okay, they don't want that to see that. I mean, the CEO of Kraft, he needs another boat. Okay, he needs another yacht that he can go out on. So use your head with it. I mean, as far as sure, even with your children. Okay, I watch people with uh, just what they're feeding them, grapes and stuff like that in the store. I watched a lady feeding a little one with grapes. Oh, they're good, and nice taste and everything like that. You just sugared that poor child up to be out of their minds with it. So be mindful about what you get. So what's good for you is not necessarily good for them. Okay. That's why, baby formula and stuff like that. How much sugar and stuff is that in there? Do they need it? People say, well, they need it for brain process and stuff. I think they need more fat in their system for brain processing. There again, I'm not a doctor. I am not a scientist, but just from over the years, I mean, really milk fat, butter, cheese. That's why the other thing I showed you there with the olive oil and stuff, I use a lot of butter. I use salted butter because on keto, your body gets rid of the salt. It's looking for it, and it just passes it out. So trip and fall, get up, brush yourself off, okay, and you got to keep going with it. Don't quit. Fight it as much as you can because you know what, there is a light at the end of the tunnel with it. I'm telling you this. I trip and fall most of the time. All right. This is the hardest. This year has been the hardest. Well, I should say 2024 was the hardest year for me. Okay. Because almost gave up, almost totally gave up on it. I had some other issues. I hurt my knee and stuff like that. And, right away, poor me falls into place. And what happens with that? Get back into, have some. I'm a bread hound. I love baking bread. I love bagels. I love all kinds of stuff. But it hurts me. So, most people know if you hit yourself in the head with a ball peen hammer, it's going to hurt. All right. You're going to bleed. So you don't do that. All right. Sugar addiction. Like I said, um, you have to walk away from it. It's really hard to do. If you do fail, get back up again and start all over again. That's the only way you're going to get rid of it. So by killing the cravings, all right, stop mimicking food. All right. Like I use a lot of spaghetti squash and stuff like that to mimic spaghetti, and just what it's called, spaghetti squash, to mimic making pasta. But the way I get around it is I know it's spaghetti squash. It is a vegetable. It is not pasta. That's how I get around that. Okay. So, there again, I've been doing this a long time. It's going to take time, but you will lose weight. You will get your health back. Just got to keep going at it. Keep going, keep going, keep going. Weight Watchers, you're eating standard American food. Okay. Um, uh, Carnivore is great. I do carnivore, like I said, carnivore I do to eliminate if I feel funky, if I feel like, maybe what did I have? Maybe I snuck something else in. So for the next week, I might just eat some meat. Or the whole idea is to eat one time a day, or until you are good and full. That's the whole thing in a nutshell. Okay, eat clean, eat as much as you can, get yourself full, and don't eat again. That's what it's all about. People talk about fasting. Okay. Well, I naturally fast, and people look at me and say, What are you talking about?" Well, I eat till I'm full, and then I don't eat anything for the rest of the night or until the next day. The next day, I will have scrambled eggs. That's my go-to. I quit coffee, all right, because I didn't realize that coffee and cream, all right, was each cup of coffee was like 6 carbs. Okay, I would have 16 ounce. I would have a cup like this. Okay, four cups like that. Right, that's almost 32 ounces of coffee, plus the cream in there. Way over my limit. All right, and then try to do it the rest of the day. So what I do is I get up in the morning and I'm pretty full still from the night before. Wait for everything to process up, and then I'll either make a video cooking, and then we'll eat like 3, 4 o'clock in the afternoon. I might have some snacks afterwards, some cheese or whatever. Um, and then like by 7 o'clock, I try to quit it, and then we go back to the same cycle again. So I am not forcing myself to do a fast. I'm just because I'm not hungry. Basically, what it is. I drink plenty of water. There again, all these drinks that have junk in it, whatever stuff that you can't pronounce. Stay away from that. Okay, water. People railed against lemon in water. I have it once in a while, not all the time. But I will make my own ginger ale. I'll make take a ginger root, cut it up, boil it. Okay, let it steep. Put it in a separate jar, and I'll mix a little bit of that with some club soda. Squeeze a lime or a lemon in it, and that's my refreshing drink. It's super good. Now I've been getting into different teas. Okay, this right here is fennel tea. Regular fennel, you can buy in the store. All right, the seeds in the spice section. Tablespoon, 8 ounces of water. Boil it up, let it steep, and drink it down. I tell you what, very good, relaxing for your stomach. I've been doing oregano tea. I'm going to do a couple podcasts on that. I've been doing oregano tea, some basil tea, also clove and star anise. All right, so star anise. So I've been doing that, not all the time. I let a couple days go by. If you have a hard time sleeping, okay, this or the oregano. The oregano knocked my socks off. I mean, I slept like a baby throughout the whole night, which is very hard to do lately. Okay, so we're going to get into that a little bit. I also made some fire cider. We're gonna break that down. It is cold and flu season. There again, I know what's in it. I'll show you. I got a video just played a week or so ago, I believe, on that. And there's a whole bunch of stuff in there, and it's a little sipper that you have made from apple cider vinegar. It's got some hot pepper. Well, I tell you what, it's potent. But if you feel something coming on or your immune system's a little weak, shoot one of them in there. I'm going back in time, okay, because I don't trust big pharma. I don't trust all these different pills and stuff. Now all of a sudden with recalls and stuff, meat recalls and food recalls, I just don't trust it. So not that I'm going off the deep end where I'm going to be like you old Gibbons going out and eating tree bark or anything like that. That's not going to happen. But this makes sense. This is where it all comes from. So that's basically what we're going to do. So with that said, I'm going to pull the pin on this one. I have a couple things coming up this year that I want to go over with everybody, and also I'm going to keep going as far as where we are with the sugar and who gets in with the FDA and stuff, because I have a bad feeling that the pushback is going to be tremendous. Okay, as far as what the food is and stuff. And I just seen like McDonald's rolling back to the $5 meals and stuff like that. That's fine if you have nothing wrong with you and if you're fit as a fiddle. But if you have weight problems, all that is enabling you to go eat more junk. That's basically all it is. So, all right, everybody. I do appreciate it. Please hit that like and subscribe button. Check out Tom Garber, the Keto Cook. Hit that like and subscribe, and we will catch you next time around.